Hello everyone and welcome to my little corner of the internet. My name's Michael and I'm bitten by a radioactive book. Today I want to talk about 12 series that I might start in 2016. I say might tentatively because we all know how it is. Maybe other books pop up, buddy reads come in between, and so these are series from my standpoint. At the moment I would like to start, but we'll see if I actually get to them. Let's start off with The Lace of Aniskaya by Bradley P. Beaulieu. That is actually his first trilogy. I've read The 12 Kings in Sharakai, the first book in his second trilogy, and really enjoyed it. So next year I want to get to that first trilogy, which is already completed. And here we have kind of, I think, an Eastern European vibe to the fantasy. We have an archipelago of islands in the sky, and so the ships travel between those islands that are airships. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I liked his writing, so let's see what his debut series is all about. Next up we have The Black Company by Glenn Cook. This is the series that is one of the first series that we might call grimdark. It started in 1992, so I think so far we have like 11 books out in the series. A lot of people compare it to the Malazan Book of the Fallen in the way that the soldier life is presented, the like bond between the soldiers, the banter, the grim, yeah, really the grim darkness of their life. And so I'm really interested to see one of the spiritual fathers of the Malazan Book of the Fallen. Next up we have The Mutant Files by William C. Dietz. This is a very interesting concept. We have bioengineering terrorism, and that like wiped out a lot of the or of humankind, and the remaining people are either totally unaffected by the changes or they mutated and are mutants. And so there is, I think, like a war, or at least a state of mutual distrust between the mutants and the pure humans. And yeah, in this world, I think this is more of an urban fantasy police procedural kind of series. But it has a very interesting and unique setting, and so yeah, I want to give it a try. Next up we have the Tournament Trilogy by Robin Hobb. I think you know that Robin Hobb's books are going around on BookTube a lot at the moment, or BookTube SFF at least, and yeah, many people like them and have read them this year, and I also enjoyed mainly the Life Ship Traders series this year, and I want to continue with Robin Hobb's overall work of the Realm of the Elderlings, and the Tournament Trilogy is the next step for this. Next up we have The Hollow Gods by Rebecca Levine. This is a series that comes highly recommended by Caitlin from Kitty G. Yeah, she really enjoyed the books. The books have a feeling for me, from what I read, in between fantasy and maybe a bit fairy tale-esque, I don't know. Um, uh, Reborn gods, traveling circuses, swordsmen, all of this sounds really interesting, really well put together, and I'm really looking forward to get started with that series. And one of the breakout series of 2015 was the Dandelion Dynasty by Ken Liu. He released the first book, The Grace of Kings, last year, and I wanted to read it last year, didn't get to it, and so I'm going to start this series this year, or in 2016. Next up we have the Recoleta series by Carrie Patel. This is fantasy, secondary world, gaslight fantasy. Recoleta seems to be like an underground city, if I understood it correctly, and we have some like typical murder investigations there, and that really sounded like something I would enjoy, and I want to give the series a try. Next up we have the Barrow series by Mark Smiley. This is a adventure group of scoundrels who find the map for a, I think, lost sword buried in a barrow and want to get to it. I heard it's very great characters, great banter, and that seems to be right up my alley. The second book comes out at some point next year, and so I want to get started with the series. Next up we have the Chronicle of the Exile from Mark Turner, and this is a series I showed lately in one of my book hauls. There is a necromancer grasping for the Book of Lost Souls and tries to get dominion over the underworld and usurp the ruler there. So that sounds like really classical epic fantasy. Once again, a series where the first book is out and the second book comes out next year, so I want to get started with it. Next up we have the Aeryn H series by Angus Watson, a series that I think is set in the Aeryn Age of our time, but with like fantasy elements, that there are druids that can conjure magic and stuff like that, and it seems to be a grimdark novel of a warrior who finds and has to protect a child in the midst of a war. All three books are already out. I don't actually know if it's just a trilogy or if there will be more books, but at least 3 books are out, and that sounded right up my alley and I want to try it out. Next up we have The Copper Promise by Jen Williams. I think in the middle of the series, or at least of the first book, stands like the Citadel, and the Citadel holds some secrets and various characters want to get to them. This was actually released in like I think 4 or 5 parts as an indie or self-published kind of thing. And then it was so successful that it was bound together in one book, this first book, The Copper Promise, and the second book came out this year, and in 2016 we'll have the third book coming out, and the series got high praise and I really like to get to it. And last but not least, we have a classic from the 1980s. It's The Book of the New Sun by Gene Wolfe. This is a very, as I said, classical fantasy series. I heard it has a very good world building. I know that Gene Wolfe's writing style is very unique. There are some people that have problems with it, other people really enjoy it, and so this is one of the classical series I really want to get to and make up my own mind about it, and a good world building always draws me in, so I'm really looking forward to get started with it. So, these are 12 series that I might start in 2016. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button. If you want to see more of me, subscribe to my channel. And until next time, I hope you get bitten by a really good book too. Bye!